Hey everyone, it's Karen with Yes Please PaperCrafts, and in this video I'm going to be creating a layout for the scrap-blogspot.com challenge for the month of September. And this is the What's My Challenge ABC 123. And so for this challenge you need to create a layout about school, homeschooling, or learning, and you must also include a one-word title, 2 photos, and 3 of the same embellishments. And so when I read these rules, I was a little bit concerned because I don't have a lot of pictures of school and I don't have any children. So I wasn't really sure what pictures I was going to use for this layout. And then the other thing that was a little bit of a concern was the one-word title, because when I think about school and then just the different things that you can use as a title, everything that was coming to mind was 2 or 3 or 4 words or more. So things like back to school, first day of school, just anything all the titles that I was thinking of were more than 1 word. And anyway, I just started going through my pictures and finding all the pictures that I had were school pictures. And I came across this picture of my nephew. This is Taylor. He's my brother Bobby's son, and this is his first day of kindergarten. And so even though I only had the 1 picture, I didn't have 2 pictures, I thought, well, I'll just print the picture twice and I will do a close-up of him and then the picture where you can see the school in the background. But when I went to print the picture, the close-up in a 4x6, it was a little blurry, so I decided to go back and just reprint it as a 3x4. So I'm going to use these 2 pictures because that's all I have. And I'm going to use the title Kindergarten because it's a 1-word title, and this was his first day of kindergarten. So that's what I decided to do. Now for the 3 of the same embellishment, I'm going to worry about that later once I get to the point where I'm embellishing my layout. I'm sure I can figure something out for that. Okay, so for the paper that I'm going to use for this layout, I decided to use this Back to School by Lori Whitlock. This is an Echo Park collection. And one of the reasons why I decided on the picture of my nephew in his first day of school, I really wanted to use this collection. I hadn't used it yet. And some of the other pictures I had were of graduations, and I really wanted to do something that was more for school, something that had really fun, bright colors. And I haven't scrapbooked too many pictures of my nephew, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to scrapbook this picture. Okay, so this collection is super cute. It's all about school, and that's what I'm going to be using. Okay, so y'all know I can't talk and scrap at the same time, so I'm going to speed this up and do a voiceover later to talk you through my process. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we did it. Woohoo! Okay, so I did get a little excited about finishing my intro because sometimes it takes me a while to do that. I think I probably did that about 5 or 6 times. I kept redoing it because I kept messing up. So sometimes I have to talk for about 20 or 30 minutes before I can really, get to where I can complete a full sentence and not mess up too bad. So I'm going to start by looking through the papers, and I found this cut apart, and it had this quote that says first day of school. Now I know I can't use that for my title, but I still thought it would be cute to use as an embellishment for my layout. Now I'm going to keep looking through here to find papers to use for my layout, and I found this plaid, and I thought that it went really well with the colors in the pictures. And a lot of the paper in here is very busy, and that's one of the things that I kind of find a little bit frustrating about using Echo Park collections, is that their papers tend to be really, really busy. And I do love their collections though, because they do have a lot of really cute designs. And so I thought about using just that blue paper, but it was really plain, and I really like the paper with the backpacks. And so I'm going to use that paper, and kind of took a little bit of a look at the sticker sheet and still trying to figure out what to do with these papers to create my layout. I thought about matting my pictures with that blue paper, but everything was just kind of blending together, and I really wanted to use more bright colors like reds and yellows. But that plaid paper just went so well with my photo, I couldn't let it go. And so I'm just going to try to make this work. Now, as I was looking at this, I saw the sticker sheet there with that border strip, and I thought, well, I could use that kind of as a way to tie these two papers together, and so that's what I decided to do. Now, I'm using this plaid, and when I flipped it over, I saw that it had all of the border strips on the back, and they were so cute that I knew that I wanted to try to save some of that for another layout. And so I just decided to trim this part off, and I like that side the best, so I'm going to save that for another layout. I decided to go grab a piece of paper that I keep for piecing together layouts. This is an older piece of paper, it's very thin. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down, and then I will take the other paper with the back pats and add it to the other side. Okay, so now that I have my background put together, I'm going to go ahead and add the border strip. And then I want to take the cut apart, and I'm going to do some fussy cutting. I didn't want to just cut around the green part of this cut apart, and so I'm going around this and leaving some of the blue background. And I did that because I thought it would stand out more against the papers that I was using for my background. Now, I love fussy cutting, and I do have a video on my channel where I share with you my tips for fussy cutting. So if you're interested in seeing that, I will put a link to that video in the description below. I'm also going to add some foam tape to the back of this piece just to pop it up a little bit more from the background and give it a little bit more dimension. So I also wanted to mat my pictures, and I like to use white to mat my pictures just because it makes the pictures pop off of the background. And so I'm just pulling some scraps of cardstock that I have in my stash, and I'm going to go ahead and use my We Are Memory Keepers layering guides and use those to create mats for these pictures. And I'm using the 1/8 inch layering guide and the Fiskars fingertip craft knife, and I'm just going to go around all four sides of the picture to create my mat. Now, I did struggle with this just a little bit because the layering guide wasn't catching on the edge of my picture, and I had to keep lifting the picture up in order to get the layering guide to catch on there. I don't know why sometimes I can easily get the layering guide to kind of catch the edge of my picture, and then sometimes I struggle with it. But it was just giving me a hard time. And also, I think the blade in my knife was a little dull. I did order some refills from Amazon, and I'm waiting for those to come in. And hopefully I'll be able to get a new blade in there soon. Okay, so I'm just going to finish up doing these mats. And one of the things I love about using these We Are Memory Keepers layering guides is that if you make a bad cut, you can take off just very small amounts until you get your mat even. And I think it gives you so much more control over getting an even mat all the way around your picture as opposed to using the paper trimmer. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create a second mat for my pictures, and I decided on this yellow paper that has these stars. It's like a tone-on-tone yellow paper, and I thought that would be a really good contrast with the plaid. So I'm going to use the 1/4 inch layering guide to create this mat and just make this mat a little bit bigger. And I'm going to do that for both pictures. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to work on is my title. I needed to figure out what I was going to use to create the title and also where I was going to place it. And I needed to do that before I figured out where I was going to put the pictures. And so I got out some thickers and decided to try these. It's a white foam thicker, and I'm going to spell out the title Kindergarten. I really wanted to put it there across the top, but it was blending right into that plaid. And so I decided I was going to put it here along the border, and I got about right to this part of the word and realized I didn't have enough E's. And so I'm going to put those letters back onto that set of thickers. And I thought about, well, maybe I should try to see what else I have in my stash, and maybe I could find out something that I could use on top of the plaid. So I found these green chipboard letters. These are from Blvd, and it was a freebie that I got when I placed an order on eBay. And these are really cute. They're polka dot, and it's like a tone-on-tone green. And I thought it really stood out from the background. So I really thought that these would be the perfect letters for my layout, but then I realized that the letters were way too big and there was no way that I was going to get the word kindergarten on my layout. And so I decided to change my title and I went with the title Awesome. And so I thought that would be really cute. My nephew's a really awesome kid, and it was awesome that it was his first day in kindergarten. So that's the title that I'm going to end up with. Sometimes things just don't work out as you plan, and I just kind of go with the flow and just adapt and change my layout to fit my supplies. And sometimes that's what you need to do. Okay, I'm just going to try to figure out the placement of my pictures. And I was kind of struggling a little bit with the pictures because I really wanted to put the smaller picture on the right, but because of the dead space was on the left side of the picture, in order to overlap the pictures, I had to put the smaller picture on the left. And I really wanted to put it on the right, but I knew that wasn't going to work, so I'm just going to go with it. Okay, so I'm going to work on my title, and I thought, well, I'm just going to make sure that I have it lined up on that line that was in the plaid. And I thought it would make it really easy to just go ahead and get that onto my layout. And I kind of wish later that I would not have glued my title down. So I don't know, I usually don't glue my title down until I'm finished with the layout, or sometimes even like way later I'll have letters falling off and I'll have to go hunt my letters down because I always, leave that to the end. And of course, after I had that all glued down and I started embellishing my layout, I really wanted to put something above the title and kind of create a cluster there. And I had a very limited space because of where I actually placed my title. So I'm just going to work with it. And I'll figure out something to do there. And it just is funny though that I hardly ever will glue down my title, and in this case for this layout I did. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and look at all of these sticker sheets that I had. I had a couple of different sticker sheets. One of these is from Bella Boulevard's Tiny Tots. And then I also used some stickers from the Carta Bella Boy Oh Boy collection. Okay, so I did try out a couple of word stickers and I decided to go ahead and use this one that says Learn. And I love using little word stickers, and I also found one that says my happy place or something like that, and I'm going to put that at the bottom of the picture there. And then I also had a little arrow, and I tried to use that arrow a couple of times, but it didn't really fit on my layout because it was going in the direction where I would have had to put it on the very edge of the right hand side, and it just didn't really fit there. So I'm also going to add in this stack of books, and that was really cute. I really wanted to put it up there above my title, but it did not fit. So I'm just going to put it there next to that cut apart. I did have to pop that up onto some foam tape because the cut apart was popped up as well. And I also found a little flag and some stars. And all of those came from the sticker sheet that was from the Echo Park Back to School collection. They had some really cute images. I also pulled a little school bus there, and I put that on top of the cut apart. Okay, so I needed to also pop that up onto some foam tape just to support it because I did overlap it on top of that cut apart. Okay, so I did think about moving the bus around the layout and also these flags. I tried them out in a couple of different places, and I think I ended up putting it there at the top of that picture. Now I also had a little tab with some hearts, and I used quite a few hearts and stars on this layout, as well as apples. I was trying to get my 3 embellishments that were the same, and I think I kind of did it several different times without even really realizing it. I did also try out some paper clips, and this is a little apple paper clip, but I didn't really find anywhere to put that on my layout, so I'm just going to not use that. I think out of the different rules for this particular challenge, the easiest one was using 3 of the same embellishment. And here I'm adding some more apples to my layout. And so that was, I really like that because it added some red to each one of my clusters. So I really wanted a third apple, and I didn't have any more stickers that had apples, and so I'm going to look through the paper and try to see if I can find something that I can fussy cut. And so I'm just looking through and trying to find something on here that has an apple about the size that I'm going to need. And I found one, and I'm just going to fussy cut this apple out. I needed something that was a small size that I could put above my title. I wanted to bring the red up there to the top of the layout, so I'm going to fussy cut out this apple. So I decided to move this blue star down in between the flag and that little tab, and it kind of broke up the red because I had the red from the flag that was right next to that tab with the little hearts, and I thought that was really cute. I'm going to go ahead and glue this apple down over here above the title, and this is where I wished I would have had more space above my title because I was very limited to what I could put there, and I really wanted to build a cluster there and to bring in some of the other colors to the top of my layout. So these puffy stickers are from Amy Tangerine's Picnic in the Park collection, and I was able to find one little puffy sticker that I put right there above the little stack of books, and it says Big Day. And I thought that was really cute because it is a big day when you start school, and especially kindergarten. I did try out a couple of cork stars, but I didn't really like those too much, and so I'm going to go back into my stash and look for some other things. And so I'm going to use some of these little wood stars, and I thought those were really cute. It adds a different texture to my layout, and I can just scatter those all over the layout. And here's where I got way more than three of a kind of the same embellishment. I kind of use those in place of enamel dots because I did not use enamel dots on this layout. I'm also looking at some different flare buttons that I had made, and so I'm going to pull in a flare button. It has a yellow background with a little camera, and I'm going to use that one right there. Actually, I think I'm going to put it over there by the stack of books. I'm also going to use the one that says Yep, and I'm going to place that one on the left side of my title. Okay, so I'm going to spend a little time trying to figure out where I'm going to place all of these little stars on my layout. I knew I was going to be gluing those down, and I wanted to make sure that I liked the placement before I started doing that. And I also wanted to mention here that I usually like to put odd numbers of embellishments together, like 1 or 3 or 5, because it looks better than using an even number of embellishments. But sometimes when you're using something like an enamel dot, or in this case the little stars, you can use just 2, and especially when you have an embellishment cluster already, because your embellishment cluster or the other item that you're grouping it with makes a threesome. And so sometimes it's okay to just use 2 of something. It just depends on if you're joining it or grouping it together with other things. So you can see there down at the bottom right hand corner I have the apple, and then I have 2 stars, and it creates a cluster of 3 items. And so that's kind of what I mean about, you know, kind of joining or grouping things together to create your odd number of items. So I used a glue dot on the back of one of my flares, but my other flare was an open back flare, so I'm going to just layer some foam tape into the back of it to kind of build it up so I can attach it to my layout. And then I'm using this is the Blvd art glue. This is very similar to the art glitter glue, but I like it so much better. You can't really tell the difference between these 2 glues, but the thing that I like about the Blvd art glue is that it's less expensive, you get more for your money, and you also have a better tip on the end, and it doesn't get clogged as much as the art glitter glue. So as I was looking at this, I thought I still needed some more embellishments. So I'm looking back through the paper to see if there's anything that I can cut out. And I decided that I would go ahead and use this one paper that I found with all these little icons. And I'm going to cut out a little pencil. I wanted to pull in some of the yellow up to the top of my layout. And so I'm going to cut out one of these little pencils and put it up there next to the apple. I'm also going to cut out a couple of other things from this paper, including some flashcards, the little chalkboard that says ABC 123. I also cut out a pair of the scissors, and those were super tiny, I didn't really like how those came out, so I didn't use them. And I cut out one of the math books, but I didn't end up finding a place for that on my layout. So I did move the little chalkboard down to the cluster there at the bottom right hand corner of my layout. And I really liked that there because it brought some of the black down to that cluster. And I thought that turned out really cute. And then I put the flashcard up there at the top. Now I wanted something else to go in that cluster, and so I went ahead and cut out another flashcard, and I thought that that came out so cute there at the top. Okay, so that pretty much finishes off this layout. So I hope I've given you some inspiration for this month's challenge at Scrap Our Stash, and be sure to check out their website for the other layouts so you can get even more inspiration from the other design team members. So I have a short video clip of my two dogs, Bella and Lilybell, at the end of this video if you want to stick around for that. And that's all I have. So y'all take care, have an awesome week, and I will see you next time. Bye now. Hi Bella, what you doing? Hey Miss Lilybell. You're getting into trouble? What you been up to, huh? Were you outside in the yard running around like a little crazy dog? Yes you were. I had to go chase you around the yard to get you to come inside. I did. Oh, okay. You weren't out there chasing possums? You were out there chasing possums. I just know you were. Are you checking out my layout, Miss Bella? Do you like it? Is it a good layout? I know you're not in that one. I can't scrapbook pictures of you all the time. You think I should? You think I should always scrapbook pictures of you? So I'm guessing y'all want a treat. That's why you're following me around, right? You're following me all around the room. You want a treat? Yeah? What kind of treat would you like, Miss Bella? Anything? Okay. I'll find you something. Let's go find you a treat. You want a treat, Miss Lilybell? Is it treat time? Well, that's kind of rude telling me to hurry up. Yeah. Shh. Don't be so noisy, Miss Bella. Okay, let me go get you a treat. Okay, so you're ready for your treat, Miss Bella? What you gonna do? Okay, what you gonna do for your treat? Can you sit? Miss Lilybell. Miss Lilybell, sit. Good job. Good job. Down. That's up. Can you go down? Good job. Miss Bella, can you go down? Bella, down. Good. No. Bella, down. Bella. Lilybell. Sit. Lilybell, sit. Down. She said I did it already. Okay, y'all got to do it down first, and then I'm going to give you the treat. Okay, down. Y'all are being bad. I don't know if I should give you a treat. You're being so bad. You're not even listening to me at all. You're just too excited to get the treat. Okay. No, you didn't. You didn't do the down. No, you didn't. You were pouting. That's not the same thing. Okay, y'all. You ready? Down. That's an up, Lilybell. Okay, girls. Down. Good job, Lilybell. She did it. Are you going to do it, B? Come on, B. You can do it. Y'all are family. I don't know about this. You're being awfully bossy. You're being very bossy. Okay, so I have the treat jar here, so they're super excited. I picked this up at Tuesday mornings. I guess it was a couple weeks ago, and I think it was $6.99 or something like that. Oh, there's the price. Yes, $6.99. I just thought it was cute, and I would keep this in my craft room. But now that I have this in here, every time we're in the craft room, they want a treat. Okay, Bella, can you down? Bella, I'm going to give you a treat. Can you down? Down. Good job, Lilybell. Bella, good girl. You finally did it. Okay, I know you did it. Ooh, almost dropped the whole jar of treats. All right. They're excited. This is their favorite treat. Back up. Back up. Back up. Leave it. Okay. See you later.